Fixies have a special sign I happen to discover. They hold 3 fingers in the air and flash it to each other. They send their greetings to you, they sing them and they shout. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out. Shh.
The Catapult.
Tom Thomas isn't here. There's no way these toy soldiers could have shot it themselves.
Now that was a good shot. It wasn't real long, and not high either. And off target. It was pretty awful.
It was good, but awful. I got it. So what do we do?
We need to raise it up a little higher.
Hey, Fire, Nolik! Why in the world would you shoot at a Fixie?
Fixies, they're supposed to be in school right now.
Actually, I'm on my way to school. How about you, Fire? Why aren't you in class?
Because there it's totally boring. But here, look at what a cool shooter we found.
Ha! What did you call it? You've got no idea what this is. It's called a catapult, guys.
A cat with gold eyes?
It isn't a cat with gold eyes. It's a catapult, guys. Catapults are ancient propulsion machines. They were used to shoot stones, heavy arrows, or barrels with burning tar. The main part of the catapult is a special piece of rope. It is twisted very, very tightly like a spring. The rope is then wrapped around a big spoon. And then, if you pull the spoon back, put a stone in it, and let it go, the catapult fires a shot. Ooh, and the stone flies far, far away.
Uh-huh. All right, so here we go. Ha! Came up short.
What do you mean short? What are you aiming at?
You'll see. The spoon needs to go further back. Just a little.
Guys, you're gonna break the glass.
Nolik, now push. All right. Yes, right on target. Now let's fly out into space.
Wait, what space? What kind of flying? Who's gonna fly?
I'm gonna fly. Right out the window. Right up to the moon.
First fixin' onto the world, Nolik. Are you ready for your flight into space?
Yes, sir.
Nolik, get out of the spoon now.
I'll be the first Fixie on the moon. Yeah.
Nolik, enough of this. What kind of joke is this?
It's not a joke at all. He's gonna fly into space.
And how come it's not you?
Because he's lighter.
Hold on. Humans didn't go straight into space themselves. They sent dogs out there first.
Nah, Chusaka's not gonna fit in here.
Simka, why don't you go and let us finish?
Fine, I will go. But only after Nolik finds himself a helmet.
You're right about that. I'll go find a helmet.
The catapult was invented in ancient times, but people still use them today. Only now, instead of launching stones, catapults are used to launch jet airplanes. You see, the runway on an aircraft carrier is quite short, so catapults are used to help the planes move fast enough to take off. Catapults can also be used to save the life of a pilot. When an airplane has an accident, a catapult activates in the cabin. The pilot is shot into the sky and comes back to the ground with a parachute. A plain old slingshot is also a kind of catapult. It's just a very little one. But be careful with this toy. It can be dangerous to others and to you too. As for us Fixies, the only time that we use catapults is on a peaceful mission.
Papus, hurry! Our Nolik's getting shot to the moon with a catapult!
What?
And if I meet new Fixies up there, what should I say to them?
Hi there. And you can ask them to launch you back. So?
Let's do it! Fire! Launch it!
Stop! Don't!
Simka! Nolik!
I'm not getting out!
Whew! We're alive.
Hooray! He flew all the way.
Who flew away?
To the moon?
Nope, just a bit short.
It's not our fault. You're just heavier than Nolik, and that's why you came up short.
Papus, maybe we can try one more time.
What? Ugh.
Fixies have a special sign I happen to discover. They put 3 fingers in the air and flash it to each other. They send their greetings to you. They sing them and they shout. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out.
Modeling clay.
All done. Simka, take a look. I've got my own pack-a-mat.
Now look at that. A pack-a-mat made out of modeling clay?
But this one's my own, and it looks just like a real one.
Okay, you're right. It really does, Nolik.
Simka! Nolik, what's up?
Hi there, Fire.
Want to play some tag with me?
I really wish I could play tag, but unlike you, I've got tons of work.
Yeah, like what?
Well, a bathroom hook fell down. Tom Thomas broke the lamp on his desk. The aquarium has a tube that's leaking. So go and play. I have to get a pack-a-mat.
Oh.
I wish I could play tag.
Hold on. Nolik, you've got a pack-a-mat.
Uh-huh.
Although I gotta say, it looks a little strange.
That's because it's...
Let's fix everything before Simka with your pack-a-mat and my Fixie board. This'll be great. So where is that hook that fell down? All right. Nolik, get out some sticky stuff.
From where?
Obviously, from out of your pack-a-mat.
But it isn't real. I made it out of modeling clay today.
Out of clay? Well, it totally looks real.
Long ago, back in the Stone Age, people learned how to use clay to make their dishes and sculptures. But the modeling clay that we use nowadays was only invented about 100 years ago. Actually, modeling clay is just plain old clay with some ingredients added so it won't dry out. And dyes are mixed in to make all the different colors. There is just no end to all of the fun things you can make out of modeling clay.
I got an idea. Go on, turn around.
What are you doing?
Grabbing glue out of your pack-a-mat. All right, get up here.
Will it stick?
Yeah, of course it will. Let's go and fix the lamp.
We can't fix this without a real pack-a-mat.
Yours will work just fine. Tadish! So, what else did Simka have to fix?
The aquarium.
Hop on. Well, where's that leaky tube?
Here, it's leaking at the joint.
Yeah, this tube is gonna need a lot of modeling clay. Give me the rest of your pack-a-mat.
Sure.
And here's a souvenir. They're all done.
What's all done?
We already fixed everything.
And what did you fix it with?
Modeling clay.
Ha! Modeling clay isn't gonna hold anything.
Well, I say it will.
Wanna bet?
All right.
It's exploding!
What in the world is happening here?
Flooding water!
You just do as I tell you, without panicking. Did you know it's possible to make modeling clay in your own home? Just write down this recipe. You'll need a cup of flour, a half a cup of salt, and a half a cup of water. Now, mix the salt with the flour and add the water little by little. Mix it together really well. What are you saying? That it looks just like dough? Well, that's exactly what it is. It's just not for eating. It's way too salty. But you certainly can sculpt things out of it. If you want your modeling clay to be colorful, you can add food coloring or watercolors to it. That's it. Your modeling clay is ready to be sculpted. When you're finished, don't forget to let your figures dry in the sun. That way they'll get nice and hard and last you a very long time. Phew. We almost didn't make it.
And did you fix the lamp with that modeling clay?
Uh-huh. And the hook, too.
That was not a good idea.
But it was really quick.
Hey, that's true. That's why I want to give a medal to you. You're heroes.
For real?
Of course you are. And here it is, your medal.
But it's made out of modeling clay.
Your reward fits your heroic deed.
Pixies go to Fixie schools and study to be masters.
There's so much they need to learn
To save us from disasters. There isn't one appliance that they don't know about. But if you meet a Pixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Pixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Pixie, please don't let their secret out.
GPS.
And 3, 4.
Stop! Who goes next?
I'm next.
5.
1, 2, 3. 3.
And
Wait, I gotta choose a route. Should I go here or there?
choose already. Nolik, what are you doing over there?
Nothing at all. Just waiting at my place.
Good, and don't get off it. Well, Fire?
What was that?
The alarm on my Pixie Tab. Oh, our lesson's about to start. Hurry!
What about the game?
Later.
As soon as young Fixies enter their first year of Fixie school, everyone gets their own Pixie Tab. It's a little computer that can do anything at all. Well, almost anything at all. Studying with a Pixie Tab is fantastic. You can read it just like a book and write in it just like writing in a notebook. You can use a Pixie Tab to listen to music, watch movies, find your way around, and talk, text, and send letters to your friends. And if you want, you can use a Pixie Tab to go on to the internet that humans use, or you can visit the secret Fixie Internet, where you can find news about the world of the Fixies. And Pixie Tabs have games on them, too. Of course, these games can be a lot of fun, but you shouldn't play games until your homework is all done.
Faster, or we'll be late.
I know a shortcut we can use. This way.
Now which way do we go?
I need to remember the route. I think it's this way, or it could be that way.
Well, which is it, this or that?
I have no clue.
Uh-huh.
So what's our plan?
We'll go back and start again. We flew in from there, right?
No, I think it was there.
That's not how we flew in. It was there.
I think we're lost in here.
Uh-oh.
Nolik, stop the panicking.
I only went uh-oh. I'm not panicking yet.
It's your fault, Fire. I know a shortcut. Go this way.
How are we gonna get out of here?
How do I know? All I know is that we're late for our lesson. Thanks to someone.
It wasn't on purpose, I swear.
Now Grandpus will punish us.
What's going on?
Well, I think I found a way to get out.
Which way?
Right here. I forgot that inside of my Pixie Tab is a GPS navigator.
Class. What's a navigator?
A GPS navigator is an interactive electronic map that can help you find your way around. The navigator can figure out where you are by using signals that are sent to it from satellites. All you have to do is type the address of the place you want to go into it, and the GPS can figure out a route to get you there. And then it helps you as you go by telling you where and when you need to turn, so you can easily get to your destination. Let's see. Right now, we're here.
And where do we need to go?
You know where, to school.
But where is that?
Are you joking? In the laboratory of Professor Eugenius.
Can you be quiet?
Where do you want to go?
The laboratory of Professor Eugenius.
Please wait while I chart out the route.
Ha! It did it! The navigator says to go there. Hey, what are you doing over there? Come on!
And if you happen to go off route, the navigator will give you a different way to... Well, you finally made it. Unfortunately, you missed an important lesson today.
We got lost. Forgive us.
In case you're wondering, we were studying navigators.
And you know what? We just used a navigator to get here.
Yeah, it showed us the way we had to go.
Well, that's certainly quite lucky for you, because now you don't get an F. But from now on, kids, you have to get here on time.
I promise you that. 'Cause now we know where to get our shortcuts from.
Fixies go to Fixie schools and study to be masters.
There's so much they need to learn
To save us from disasters. There isn't one appliance that they don't know about. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out.
The fire extinguisher.
So, who can tell me, in the home, what is the greatest danger of them all?
Chuzaka.
Well, dogs are dangerous for us, but what is very scary for us and for humans?
Fire!
Huh? Where?
I was just answering what you asked us.
Although your joke was awful, Fire, your answer was actually correct. Nothing can be worse than getting caught inside a house on fire.
Don't know much about chemistry, but I can handle circuitry. That's an interesting idea. I have to try it out.
And that's why every Pack-A-Mat has a fire extinguisher inside of it.
And how do you turn them on?
Well, I'll show you at the end of the lesson.
Nolik, listen, yell fire.
How come?
I just want to find out how the professor turns on a fire extinguisher.
Forget it, Fire. I won't do it for you.
Fire!
Huh? Huh? You again.
I was joking.
It's a stupid kind of joke, and I want you to leave right now. Actually, I should call your parents to discuss this terrible behavior. Fire is no joke at all. Remember, never fool with fire. Of course, you should never play with matches or with lighters. Everybody knows that. But those aren't the only things that can cause a fire inside of a house. So can a stove or a fireplace. And don't forget electrical appliances like electric burners, space heaters, and irons. If you act carelessly around any of these appliances, they can cause a fire. And we should never forget to take extra special care with sparklers, candles, and fireworks. Sparks can jump off of them and set fire to highly flammable things like paper, wood, or cloth. So, what do you do if a fire suddenly breaks out? That's right. You call the fire department by dialing the number for all emergencies, 911.
Huh? What's going on? No way. No way! Fire? It's burning for real! Fire! What do I do? Oh, yeah! I need a fire extinguisher! Where are you?
And that's how a pack-a-mat can become a fire extinguisher. Do you understand?
We understand. There's a fire! It's over there!
Enough! You don't know when to stop fire?
I'm not joking this time. Please believe me, it's there.
Nice try, Fire. Oh, look, he even used smoke this time.
No, Simka. That smoke's from a fire.
Uh-huh. I'm sure that this time it's for real.
It's the truth. I swear I'm not lying.
This time I think it's true. He's not joking.
We've got ourselves a real fire here. Tula, Simka, turn off the soldering iron.
Uh-huh. Got it.
Be careful, kids. You have to stay back here away from the fire.
And what can I do to help?
Take out your fire extinguisher. Long ago, people used to put out fires with just water or sand. Today, people also use fire extinguishers. Fire extinguishers are cylinders with hoses. They're usually painted red, so they're easy to see. The cylinder is filled up with a special powder, or foam. If someone needs to put out a fire, they point the hose at the fire, pull out the safety pin, and squeeze the handle. The foam or powder shoots out of the extinguisher and puts out the fire.
Our fire extinguishers are just too small for this fire. We have to find Professor Eugenius to put it out.
I already did.
All right, where's the fire? Ah. Ooh.
Hooray! We put out the fire!
You Fixies are just the greatest. Thank you. You saved the whole laboratory.
Not at all, colleague.
If not for you Fixies, I can't even fathom how this could have ended.
And what I'm wondering is how the fire got started at all. Fire?
I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, sure. Then who was yelling, fire, fire? You know what? Maybe it was you that set the fire. Well, if that's what happened, don't even think about coming back to school without your parents.
Colleague, wait. It's all my fault. I didn't turn off the soldering iron. Forgive me.
Now we know whose parents the school should be calling.
I almost caught one yesterday.
I chased him, but he fled.
But if I told my dad, he'd say,
It's all inside your head. You really cannot catch them.
Or find their whereabouts. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out.
The Manipulator.
Well, what do you say, Professor?
It couldn't be any more accurate. Our manipulator works just perfectly.
Good! So that means that we're free to go.
Great. See you later.
All right, finally. Now it's our turn to experiment with that manipulator.
And do you know how to operate this manipulator?
Why do you think we were spying? A manipulator is a kind of mechanical arm that people use for difficult or dangerous work. To control a manipulator, humans use a remote control or a joystick. The operator gives the command, and the mechanical arm grabs and moves the load. Some robotic manipulators don't even need to be steered by an operator. They're controlled by computers and can work without people being there at all, even on the moon. What is this button for? Uh-huh. How about this one? Uh-huh. Would you like to take a ride?
Right now?
You're scared.
Scared? Not one bit.
Then off we go.
Yeah, cool. Ha, this is totally awesome.
Well, hang on. This is gonna get even awesomer. Professor? Strange. What made this ladder just fall over? Ah! Am I crazy? Or someone here? Oh, calm down. Calm down now. Poor Elisa. Yeah, you're completely overworked.
Whoa!
Ah! Who's here?
Achoo!
Hang in there, Nolik. I'll get you out of there. My compact's gone. Oh dear, what's going on? Ah! Stop this nonsense right now, or I'll call the police on you. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in... Ah! Where are you pulling me? I'm going to faint. I'm warning you. That's all. Goodbye. Ah.
Throughout the world, humans use manipulators for all sorts of work. In factories, manipulators are used to lift and move heavy loads. They can also hand out the parts needed for assembly or even attach these parts themselves. In hospitals, more precise manipulators are used by doctors to help perform operations. Manipulators are also used in places where the work is simply too dangerous for people. For instance, where there are deadly chemicals, or places where humans can't get to easily, like somewhere underground where there isn't enough space to move, or deep under the water. Or in outer space where there's absolutely no air to breathe. So you see, mechanical arms are helpful in all sorts of places where humans are unable to reach things with their own arms.
Hang on, Nolik. How can I get that thing open? Ugh, I got it!
Yes? Who's there? Ah! What's going on?
Achoo!
No, Nolik? What are you doing in there?
Achoo! We just took a little test flight.
Is this yours? Elisa! Elisa!
Professor, you genius. I was attacked by a crazy arm.
The manipulator. It's your imagination.
Look, it's come back.
Stop, I'm telling you.
Professor, you genius. It heard what you just said.
Calm down, it's okay. It was a little malfunction, but I took care of it.
You are just astounding.
And don't think that I'm through with you.
With me?
With you? No, with the manipulator. Let's go, Elisa.
Yeah, let's go, Professor.
Great job, Fire.
And why fire?
Achoo!
Pixies go to Fixie schools and study to be masters.
There's so much they need to learn
To save us from disasters. There isn't one appliance that they don't know about. But if you meet a Pixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Pixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Pixie, please don't let their secret out.
The airbag.
We're gonna be late. We'll make it. Whoa! Oh, wow. Hey, slow down there.
I'm a super duper racer.
Well, Fire. Again, risking your life.
And super racers like me can always count on luck.
You know, Fire, counting on good luck is stupid. It would be better if you would keep your mind on safety. Actually, today, Professor Eugenius has something really special to show us. He's going to be testing an airbag.
What's that?
Digit, explain it.
Everybody riding in a car has to wear their seatbelt, because if the car has to stop quickly, the belt will hold the person back. But there are times when even seatbelts don't give enough protection, like when a fast-moving car crashes into something. When that happens, the driver and passengers can be protected by an airbag. You can't see them when they're folded up because they're hidden, but if the car is in a crash, the airbags blow up very quickly, and the person bumps into the bag instead of banging into the steering wheel or flying through the windshield.
Here I come.
And once again, when something dangerous must be tested, Professor Eugenius tests it on himself.
But Grandpus, aren't you scared that it won't blow up with air?
Don't worry about the air.
A 3 and a 2 and a 1.
The airbag filled up in an instant. Did you notice?
Yeah, but how does it do it?
There is a chemical inside of there that quickly burns and instantly turns into a gas the moment the crash takes place. The gas fills the airbag, and there you go. Did I explain that right, Professor?
We've got to get him out.
Stop! We'd better call for help.
Professor, do you need some help?
Thank you, Elisa. Sorry to take you from your work. You're free to go.
Professor, how did you manage to press the button from way over there?
I managed to hit it on the fly.
You are just astounding.
To keep small children safe while they're riding in a car, they must be buckled up with a seatbelt inside of a special booster chair. But kids also need to be careful when they're riding a bicycle, skateboarding, roller skating, or riding a scooter. First of all, it's best to keep off of roads where there's too much traffic. Second, put your protective gear on. For your arms and legs, wear elbow pads, gloves, and knee pads. For your head, wear a helmet. That way, if you fall down, you won't get badly hurt. And third, make sure that people can see you. If you're out riding in the evening, your clothes and bike must have safety reflectors on them. They let drivers see where you are by reflecting the light from their headlights back at them. Remember, better safe than sorry.
Here we go. Well, I hope this time I've got it.
Should we call his assistant right now, just in case?
Let's just wait and see.
Ready, set, go!
Grandpus, he needs to be rescued.
No need. I made a change to it. Now the bag not only inflates automatically, it deflates itself as well.
Splendid!
As you Fixies say,
Today's lesson is done.
Hooray! Come on!
Where's my fixie board?
I've got your fixie board, Fire. Here you go. I just went and equipped it with an airbag.
Really? Ha! How come? You know I'm a super racer. See? Woohoo!
And that's why I installed it.
Super racers don't need airbags. We never, ever.
Oh, wow! Is that airbag cool or what?
It's a very original design he used there.
That design is my own, and Fire ran the test.
Professor, will you make an airbag for each one of us?
You all will get them real soon. But even so,
Caution and care make accidents rare.
I almost caught one yesterday.
I chased him but he fled.
But if I told my dad, he'd say,
It's all inside your head. You really cannot catch them.
Or find their whereabouts. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out.
knots.
Nolik, there are pirates off the starboard side. Battery, fire!
Hey, I'm not a pirate. Why'd you hit me? That's it. I'm tired of playing the wind. Where are my pirates?
This looks great. Can I board your ship?
And what are your skills?
Tons, like protecting the ship and yelling hooray when we win.
And how about good sea knots? Can you tie them?
Of course I can tie them.
Then tie up our treasure. And make sure it's good and tight.
Pirates, prepare to attack!
I got it. Whoa!
That's done. Good enough.
Hooray!
It's good and tight.
Now can you survive a storm?
Without a doubt. Our treasure!
It's sunk into the sea.
That was my mom's necklace we sunk.
I'll pick it all up, don't worry.
No, thank you. We'll manage ourselves. He calls himself a sailor. Go and learn to tie some knots. Try tying 2 ropes into a knot. You think it's easy? A badly tied knot will untie itself before you know it. Here's one way to tie it right. First, cross over the 2 ends like this. Now to finish the knot, you've got to cross them over again. But not this way. It's got to be in the opposite direction. When it's done, it looks like one loop inside another. This kind of knot is called a square knot. And it won't untie as long as you tie it right. And that's just one of the many kinds of knots a sailor has to learn.
Oh! Okay. I knew I could tie it. Now what else is there to practice on around here?
I found some more of our treasure.
Here's another one.
That's 19, but we're supposed to have 20. I know it because I counted our treasure.
So what happened to the last one?
Well done there. So what else could I tie? Perfect.
I even remember what it looks like. It's a different color. It's a bright red one.
Oh, Mom's gonna notice right away that the red one's gone. I gotta go find it.
Yeah, I think it's on the floor.
Who tied my laces together?
I was just practicing, sorry.
And what else did you tie up to practice your knots?
Not sure you want to know.
You're funny. Let's go untie them.
Don't look at me that way. I'm scared.
She's just staring at her own whiskers, Nolik.
And what have you done to her whiskers?
Well, I tied them with the square knot.
Fire, you're just a blockhead. And why don't you tell us what else you've done?
Well, okay. I tied a decoration on her tail.
That's where it is. We were looking everywhere for that thing.
Fire, go and fix everything you've done.
Chusaka, don't run away.
Don't be scared. We just want to untie the knots.
Sailors have developed all sorts of different knots. Without them, they couldn't control their sails. But we couldn't get by without knots on land either. Mountain climbers use tightly knotted ropes to help them climb and keep them safe. Fishermen tie hooks to their fishing line using special knots. You can't even pitch a camping tent properly without making a knot. When people sew, they tie knots in the thread to hold it in place. And doctors use knots when they stitch and bandage a wound. And a tie wouldn't be a tie if you didn't tie a knot in it. Sneakers won't fall off your feet. And the laces won't drag on the ground if they're tied with a proper knot. But sometimes things can get knotted up by accident. And that's one time when you don't need to know how to tie knots, but how to untie them.
All aboard!
Like that. thing left to do is tie a knot.
Should I tie it?
Are you sure it won't untie?
You're joking. Why don't you go ask Chusaka if I can tie a knot like a sailor?
Pixies go to Fixie schools and study to be masters.
There's so much they need to learn
To save us from disasters. There isn't one appliance that they don't know about. But if you meet a Pixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Pixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Pixie, please don't let their secret out. The chick.
Ah, Professor Eugenius is making breakfast. Only the eggs will never get cooked at this temperature.
What are you doing? You can't heat up these eggs to temperatures that are this hot.
Why can't you?
The chicks, you'll kill them.
What chicks? Where?
This appliance, do you even know what it is?
I thought it was an egg cooker.
You thought it was an egg cooker? Listen up. I do not want to see you around this thing. Not anywhere close. Got it?
I won't get close to it.
But Grandpus, we don't even know what this is for.
It's called an incubator. To help her chicks hatch, a mother hen sits on her eggs for a long time, keeping them warm with the heat of her body. An incubator is a device for hatching chicks that is used in place of the mother hen. It's always nice and warm inside, just like under a chicken's wing, but not too hot. An incubator can even turn the eggs so they get just the right amount of heat all over. Chicks that are hatched in an incubator are no different from the chicks that are hatched without them.
Fire!
What?
This thunderstorm is really scary. Let's be scared together.
I'm not scared at all.
Me neither, I was joking. Just joking with you. What do you think? Are the chicks scared in there?
Holy moly! Wow, that was a big one. Even the electricity got turned off.
The incubator turned off too.
And the temperature is dropping.
And for little chicks, is that bad?
I'm sure it is. It's cold in here.
These chicks need help, and Grandpus isn't around.
Then we're gonna have to save these chicks without him. Nolik, get the door open.
Help me.
I can't. Grandpus said I can't get near the incubator, so try opening it yourself.
I can't do it.
And I can't help you.
But the chicks are going to die of cold.
Let's just do it. But don't you go and tattle to Grandpus.
I promise. Hooray!
It's a bit early for hooray.
Candle?
Yeah, we'll warm up the chicks with the fire.
Class. Time for hooray?
Now, yeah.
Tanish! Like sparrows, ducks, storks, and ostriches, all birds lay eggs and sit on them to help them hatch. And it's not only birds. Other animals like snakes, crocodiles, and even turtles have babies that they hatch from eggs. To protect their children, they try to hide their eggs, like deep in the bushes, in the cracks of rocks, or in the sand. By the way, roe is also little eggs, just without the shells. From this fish roe, little hatchlings are born that will grow into big fish. And from tiny frog roe, tadpoles hatch that will then develop into full-grown adult frogs. And you've heard of dinosaurs, right? Well, those giant reptiles that lived millions of years ago, they also hatched out of eggs.
What happened to the electricity in here?
It's a blackout from the thunderstorm, I guess.
This is just awful. My incubator. Someone lit a candle, and the temperature is normal.
So who put the candle in there? Tell us right now.
Nolik, don't be a tattletale.
It was me. By yourself. By myself?
Of course yourself. I wasn't allowed near it.
Well, yeah. He wasn't allowed near it.
All by yourself. Then well done.
You saved the chicks.
Our hero.
So, Fire, follow his example. And you, Nolik, accept our heartfelt thanks.
Look inside. They're starting to hatch.
All right, Fire. Come take a look. Now I'm allowing you.
Look, a little chick. It's so cute.
And so yellow.
Look at him. What a little sweetie.
Fire.
What?
Well, I really know who saved him. Tish.
Can you believe that Fixies are such itty-bitty creatures?
Even when they're magnified,
It's hard to see their features. They're tiny, infinitesimal, so small it makes you doubt. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out.
The clocks.
Go around. Left side.
That's crazy. You'll crash.
No, I won't. See, I told ya. What? Huh? Nothing. Now you talk with your computer like it's your friend. Listen, that's enough playing for today. Oh, Mom, just a little more. I'll give you half an hour while I cook dinner, and that'll be enough for today with the computer. This stinks. I'll never get through all of these levels in half an hour.
No way.
Hey, but what if we could stretch out the half hour?
How?
We could take the hands on the clock and move them back a little.
Mom will catch us.
Fine, then let's slow down the speed of the clocks.
Yeah,
But how?
You gotta know things like that. Since olden times, many clocks run with the help of a pendulum. The pendulum controls how fast the hands of the clock turn. If you make it longer, the pendulum will start to swing slower, and the clock's hands will slow down. If you make the pendulum shorter, the clock will tick faster. Most clocks that are made today don't use pendulums. They run with the help of springs or with an electronic chip instead. But even so, there are ways to change the speed of these clocks, too. Push it!
Wow, you did it! It's amazing how much slower it is.
That'll give you lots of time to play.
But now you gotta slow down the clocks in the kitchen.
Yeah, and every other clock you got. I just have to turn this to make the pendulum longer.
Uh-huh. And now the clock will go slower. Tadee! Fire! Now that clock over there.
Let's go do it.
That's it! We slowed down every clock, and your mom didn't see a thing.
That's great. Yeah.
Wow, Tom Thomas, you're cool! Amazing!
He got another one.
Awesome!
You're unbelievable. Way to go.
Huh. That's strange.
Hooray!
Incredible.
Yay, I did every level. Oh, thanks. You're both just...
The time masters of the universe.
Yeah, but I'm getting really hungry, and Mom hasn't called me for dinner.
Because a half hour hasn't passed on the clock.
Hey, do you smell that?
Something is burning. What happened? A fire? I don't get it. I was just waiting for 30 minutes like I always do. But everything burned this time. Maybe the clock stopped? No, take a look. They're working. I'll make you some oatmeal. Oatmeal for dinner? Mom, I need to, I'll be right back. See what you've done, Time Masters of the Universe? You gotta go speed those clocks back up.
Okay. We'll speed them up. They'll be caught up in no time.
Humans have come up with lots of different ways to measure time. For example, if you stand a stick in the ground, you can measure the time of day by watching where its shadow falls. That's a very simple clock called a sundial. Another simple and ancient clock is a water clock. It keeps track of time by measuring how much water has poured out of it. And if the clock uses sand instead of water, it's called an hourglass. But humans weren't able to accurately keep track of the time until they invented mechanical clocks. They come in all sorts of sizes, from grandfather clocks to watches worn around the wrist. Today, we also have easy-to-read and accurate electronic watches and clocks. But the most accurate clock of them all is the atomic clock. It tells the entire world the exact time.
Thomas, why is your alarm clock ringing in the middle of the night, huh?
Really? Is it still night out?
Look, Thomas.
But the clock says that it's morning.
Interesting. Yesterday, Fire and I sped up all the clocks, so that's the reason the alarm went off.
Sped him up? Are you crazy?
Thomas asked us.
So what do we have to do now?
Don't you know? Get to school, it's time. I'm joking. Go back to sleep. Don't worry, I'll get all the clocks working right again.
Can I go and fix them with you?
Ha! Fix them? You boys are the ones that always make the problems.
They take care of our machines, irons, phones, and toasters, MP3s and TV screens, even roller coasters.
Without them, clocks stop ticking.
Without them, lights go out. But if you meet a Pixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Pixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Pixie, please don't let their secret out.
The doorbell.
Nolik! Nolik, what are you doing here?
Just whistling a tune.
Are you gonna whistle that tune the whole time Thomas is away? He just left with his parents for a week, and we've got guests coming, remember?
What guests?
I invited everybody.
The class?
Yes, class.
Are they sleeping in there, what, huh?
First they invite us, and now they don't want to let us in? I'll share the present with you then. Fire. Maybe you'll get it to work now. When they get here, they'll ring the bell.
How come? Why don't they just do what they always do and climb through the keyhole?
No way. It's not that simple, Nolik. Today they're our guests.
Ah.
The guests ring the bell, and the hosts let them in the house.
It doesn't ring.
You think the doorbell's broken?
I say we go fix it.
Before we fix anything, we need to know what went wrong with it.
First we'll fix it, and then we'll know what it was.
Back in the olden days, people would hang a bell over their doors with a string, and guests would tug on it to make it ring. Today, doorbells are electric, and they make all sorts of different sounds. Some buzz, some ring, and some even chirp like birds. The sound comes from a box inside the house called a chime. To make the chime ring, you push a button that's located outside. The button works just like a light switch, but instead of turning on light, it turns on sound.
Verda, will you join me? Whoop!
I gotta think about this. Yeah.
Simka! You think your guests are gonna come at all?
Simka! Tula? Hey! The doorbell doesn't work. It must be broken. That's odd. We heard it ring this morning. Nolik, let's go. First, we'll examine the contacts. Yep, good and tight. Okay, let's check the speaker. The speaker's fine. Maybe the electronics are the problem.
And what if we disconnect these wires and switch them?
What'll that do?
We'll know soon enough. know what? Why don't we connect the wires straight together?
Isn't that dangerous?
We'll find out. Don't worry, nothing happened yet.
Fire. He's the engine of our class. He's the fastest, the nimblest, and the bravest. Fire never sits still for a second, and he's always looking for adventure. New ideas just burn in his head, and that's why his name is Fire. But not all of his ideas are very good, so he's constantly getting bumps and bruises. He just can't help getting carried away. If he's burning with an idea, he can even forget about his classes at school. Grandpus punishes him for that. But it doesn't seem to bother Fire, because some new plan will pop into his head the very next second. To be honest, Fire's my favorite out of all the boys in our class. It's sure never boring when he's around.
Hey, you down there. I figured out why it's not working.
So what's the reason?
There's no electricity in the whole house, so that's why the bell isn't working.
And what? We can't visit like real guests do until the electricity comes back? And when will it work again?
Don't know. It could possibly take hours, guys.
Oh, it's working again! Ah! Enough ringing! Hey, Fire, quit fooling around! He's not fooling around!
It's not me, see?
Then who's ringing it? I don't know. Well, I know. The doorbell's ringing because Fire connected the wires together.
True, but I'll fix that right now.
Ha! Your guests sure are noisy. Yeah, thank goodness the humans aren't home right now. Hello? Hello there, dear guests. Let yourself into our home through the keyhole. So, should we go in?
Go where?
Go inside.
Nah, that's not how guests act.
So what do we do?
Real guests always ring the bell. Okay, hold me tight. Hup.
But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their